I respect all teachers at this school. 3, 2, 1, go.
When I show up to class on time every day, and I proofread everything I turn in, and then they show up late for class, and there are grammatical errors in the questions they've given me on a test so bad that I can't understand the question, that makes me lose a lot of respect for them. And then there have also been other issues that I know of. Of course, nobody's mean to me because I come from a place of sometimes unbelievable privilege, but I know of teachers saying and doing horrible things to my friends that make me want to not trust any teachers because I know that they all belong to this community and they all know each other, and some of them are endorsing the things that these teachers are doing.
Like teachers, they can make mistakes or whatever, and I think, we all do, but sometimes there's just this idea of like, oh, I don't need to apologize since I'm the teacher, even if there was a situation that I feel like, you were in the wrong for. So that's why I'm over here, but I also feel like, I'm not trying to say that's like the majority of teachers. I've had a lot of great teachers, but if there's one kind of rotten strawberry in your box of strawberries, even if the strawberry does get thrown out or the teacher does get fired, you still want to look at the other strawberries again, you know what I mean? You don't just start eating them and you're like, oh, they're great again. You want to check all of them. Sorry, but you know what I mean, right? Because it's it's not like the teachers are all not talking to each other. It's like, oh, if you're all being friendly like this, did you just not know what was happening, or maybe you were just choosing to ignore it? You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So I feel like I wish I didn't go into classes as cautious as I do sometimes, but I definitely do.
I see both myself as a normal human and then also me as my job as a teacher is more so as my job as a teacher is to extend respect to every both student in the school and staff member, and so that I sort of have to, as a professional, respect the other staff members and the other teachers. Now that doesn't mean I also don't hear some of those things, right, that people are saying, and so I think that's why I'm here rather than all the way on agree. But I also would push back on what some of you guys are saying, that we know each other. There are 400 staff members in the school, and I do not know everyone. I maybe know everyone's face, maybe, but probably not. And so the amount that I interact with a lot of people is a lot less, I think, than sometimes it might look like or seem like.
I often don't see anybody else other than my students. It's a very isolating thing.
It's good to hear that perspective from the students, that it is really easy for teachers to lose that respect, and that to then sort of affect, as Nick is saying, right, affect other teachers as well, sort of paint more teachers with broader brushes.
No teacher is going to be the perfect teacher for every student. So one thing, when students start complaining about another staff member in my class, I said, hold a second, let's they didn't work for you, but they might be the right person for somebody else.
People at CRLS are more pessimistic about our school culture than they should be. 3, 2, 1, go.
The school itself has many underlying issues that we don't always like to discuss, but we can keep the conversation going just by being, I guess, pessimistic. I don't know. I think that makes it interesting, because it makes it more likely that we'll have just a wider amount of just a spread of pessimistic views, because that actually makes for more change in my mind.
That last statement, I basically mostly disagree with that. I don't think pessimism is very useful as a sort of a change-making tool. I think it is useful as a complaining tool, which can lead to change. But I think that this is sort of me at my idealistic version right now versus my daily life in my head. I'm pretty pessimistic about a lot of things. But idealistically, I think that pessimism is not useful to make change happen. You have to be radically hopeful, even if things are terrible, right? Like, I am pretty pessimistic generally about the state of the United States, historically and currently, but like, I'm kind of radically hopeful, because if I'm not hopeful, like, I'm not gonna do anything.
You can't prevent pessimism, and being pessimistic is better than not acknowledging the problems, I think. And I think it's a first step to fixing problems. So like, you notice there's a problem, you talk about the problem, and like, that is pessimism. You're saying there's a problem, this is bad, that's being pessimistic. But so like, it's gonna happen, it's like a step on the way to fixing the problem. But I don't think pessimism and only pessimism will get anything done.
Sometimes people, they're coming from like, oh, they're trying to shut this down or whatever, and it's just maybe the school doesn't quite know how to interact, and it's just more confusion on the school's part than like active, I guess, malintent. So that's why I'm over here. I think that a lot of times, I think you should be pessimistic. I just think sometimes it's a little too pessimistic and too negative for my taste.